Hi everyone, Bird here on behalf of MovieGameNostalgia.com. Hope you're all well. This is our regular look at some movie posters from the late 1990s and the 2000s. Thanks to the old video shop I used to own in Manchester back in those days. These are just a few of the 1,000 different titles. I've got about 4,000 or 5,000 different posters, but I've covered about 1,000 titles anyway. I usually do, as you know, the A2 posters. These are slightly bigger. These have a little white border around them, so they're like about 24.5 inch by 18 inch approximately. So still okay for framing. Obviously, they'll fit in an A2 frame as well because they can be trimmed. With some of the edges being slightly bigger posters, sometimes the edges get a little bit wear and tear. I mean, some of these are 25 years old, so you know they do get a little bit of wear and tear over time. So anyway, we'll have a look at 10 today. We'll start with the letter A, so that's a good place to start, isn't it? So let's do it. Let's show you the 10 and tell you a little bit about the films. All right, well, there's the first one. A good one to start with, isn't it? The old Mr. Vin Diesel, A Man Apart, a great poster. Obviously about drug cartels and etc. I mean, he's got his older sheriff's badge there, so you can see something to do with the law. I mean, a good film. He came out in 2003. Scored 6.1 out of 10 on Internet Movie Database, which isn't a bad score. 6.1 out of 10, not the highest, but it's not a bad film. I quite liked it. They were trying to call it Diablo originally, but if you think back to 2003. Diablo was the name of quite a well-known video game at the time. It was called Diablo, so they had to change the name to A Man Apart. But obviously, if you like Vin Diesel and see the borders, that's the white borders. They do get not too bad. This one sometimes you get a bit yellowy, but these are in good condition. So that's Vin Diesel in A Man Apart. A good film, worth a watch if you've not seen it. If you like Vin Diesel, that's one of his earlier ones, obviously, and you like plenty of action. That's really good. So Vin Diesel, A Man Apart. And on to the next one. Well, this is quite iconic, isn't it? Mr. Will Smith in Ali. I mean, a great film. Again, only didn't score too high. He got 6.8 out of 10, which isn't bad actually. 6.8 out of 10 on Internet Movie Database. Forget what you think you know. A masterpiece. This movie is a knockout. So they are the old taglines. News of the world. They are. News of the world's no longer with us, is there? So there's another reason to perhaps have it. Didn't do very well. It did cost $107 million to make this, and it only got back $88 million. And Will Smith didn't want to do the film. Michael Mann, obviously a Michael Mann film, but Will Smith didn't want to do it. Michael Mann actually got Muhammad Ali himself to ring Will Smith, and obviously he told Will Smith that there's no one as handsome looking or as pretty to do it as him, so he had to take the role. So obviously the rest is history, and Will Smith took on the role, but he did really well. I mean, not the greatest look-alike, obviously, but no, that's Ali with Will Smith. Good film. If you've not watched that, that's a good biopic sort of drama, always worth a watch. On to a little British film, not overly well known, not the most what's it of posters. Obviously, A Creature's Eye in the foliage, but obviously we've got the wonderful John Hurt. And obviously Christian Bale in this, All the Little Animals, which is a drama really about a young boy on the run from his stepfather, who teams up with another guy and who teaches him about various creatures, etc. And this actually originally was put together for release in 1969. And if you're into your British stuff, and you know, for instance, Dad's Army in Coronation Street, the 1969 version was penned in to star Arthur Lowe. So I mean, that was quite unusual, isn't it, in one of the roles? So, but good poster. Say wonderful John Hurt, sadly no longer with us, but a great poster to have. And it's a good film. He got 7 out of 10 Internet Movie Database rating. So like a good drama, it's really good. That's back in 1998. So no Arthur Lowe, but we've got John Hurt. So is that an improvement? I'd probably say yes. On to the next one. Well, this is obviously the sequel to the very famous American Werewolf in London. We got American Werewolf in Paris. Had a 25 million budget when it was made back in 1997, and only made 27 million back. And it's one of those films at the time didn't do overly well. Obviously, from that we can see from that box office, 27 million, 25 million to make Tom Everett Scott. But it's one of these films that over time has got quite a cult following now. It's gaining popularity over the years, which you do find with a lot of movies, especially of this genre. You do, as they get older, the films actually, people appreciate them more. Because they only got a 5.1 out of 10 on Internet Movie Database. Very low, in my opinion. I didn't think it was that bad. I thought it was quite good. Obviously, we've got the old French werewolves in this one as opposed to the London ones. But no, it's I like this. I thought it was a good film and well worth more than 5.1 out of 10. So American Werewolf in Paris. Great poster as well. I mean, that's, if you like a good scary poster on you all, that's a great one. Now, a lesser known one, another drama that scored quite well, 6.1 out of 10, with the wonderful, obviously, Nicole Kidman, but Lauren Bacall's in this, Danny Houston and Anna Hesh is also in this. Careful what you wish for. And it's about, obviously, I've seen a similar film to this. It's about a husband actually comes back as reborn as someone else, as a younger man. So it's a sort of interesting drama with an interesting premise. And Nicole Kidman herself says this is one of her actual favourite films, Birth, and it is a good drama. So this is one you could have easily missed over time. And this is one really worth watching, Birth with Nicole Kidman. It's one of her favourite films. It's always nice to see Lauren Bacall, isn't it? And the next one, this is a good film. I enjoyed this. Very weird, again, a little bit underappreciated at the time. Cost 35 million to make, got 40 million at the box office. The wonderful Christopher Walken, Sissy Spacek, and Dave Foley. But you got Brendan Fraser and Alicia Silverstone. We don't see enough of Alicia. I've not seen Alicia Silverstone for a while now, but a great film, good fun film. 6.6 out of 10 on IMDb, which is a really good rating from 1999. This, and obviously this guy spent 35 years in an air raid shelter, thinking there's been a nuclear war, and obviously he comes out into the new world. The actual baseball cards in the film is actually, obviously there's some baseball films, and recently there's obviously all the baseball cards used in these are reproduction. So if you're American, you're into the baseball cards. Sadly, they're not all legitimate ones that actually appear in this film. But what a great little film, blast from the past, good fun. Again, one you may have missed. It's always worth going back. And Christopher Walken is superb. Sissy Spacek, you can't really, as well as the two leads. Obviously, you can't go much better than that. On to another. I think this is another British one. Rude and raunchy, a bit of a sexy one here about men and women and sex. Basically, it's just a drama about relationships, etc. It was actually originally called Jello Shots, which obviously Jello is very American. It's not a UK British thing, Jello, but Jello Shots is obviously owned by Kraft, because Kraft owned the trademark for Jello. It's a trade name, so they couldn't use Jello Shots, so they had to call it Body Shots in the end. This is from 1999. Not a great score, only 4.9 out of 10. Of the posters and films today, I'd say it's the least watchable in my opinion. I certainly wouldn't go back and watch this, but obviously if you like the scenario of it, read up on it, and you like the stars in it, please give it a watch. I mean, I like the poster. Nice poster, a bit raunchy. You like a little bit of a raunchy poster on your wall with some nice stars in it. That's Body Shots. And on to the next one. Well, we've got an interesting one. This cost 7 million, was 28 million at the box office. Came out in year 2000. Scored 7 out of 10. Ben Affleck, Wall Street for the Next Generation. Yeah, so it's about obviously dodgy brokers, isn't it? Business brokers, and obviously getting people to put money in, and obviously not always legitimate enterprises, etc. But it was a really good film. It got 7 out of 10 on Internet Movie Database. They wanted Matt Damon obviously involved in this project, but he couldn't do it because he was involved in the Bourne Identity. So we were left with Ben Affleck, who did a really good job. And again, it's another film you may have missed. It's well worth watching if you like your Wolves of Wall Street, that sort of thing. That's Boiler Room. Very, very good. On to another British one based on the novel by Ian Banks, which he said was a rant against Thatcherism. All these British people who obviously know better than Maggie Thatcher, but there you go. A lot of these people have wrote these things. Complicity, we can't agree with everybody all the time, can we? But Jonny Lee Miller stars in this. 6 out of 10 on Internet Movie Database, which is a good score from the year 2000. And it's basically it's about rich and powerful people being killed. Simply, it's not a bad story. It's not a bad watch. As I say, there's a political side to it, a political point made, etc. But just watch it as a film, and you might enjoy it. That's Complicity with Jonny Lee Miller, and the little nick out of there. But I don't say that this can be trimmed down to A2 size anyway, so that's not too bad. And the last one we're going to look at today, the wonderful Michelle Pfeiffer, back in 1999, Deep End of the Ocean. Another drama. Did a few dramas today, haven't they? 38 million it cost to make. Only got 28 million at the box office, which was a shame. Scored 6.4 out of 10. A good drama. It's about a kidnapped boy who suddenly reappears after, I think it's 9 years away, and it's very, 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 very good film. The actual book it was based on had quite a sad ending, but obviously on the test screenings for this, the public didn't like that ending, so they redid the ending, so it's a happier ending. So obviously for the film, so again it stayed away from the book's miserable ending. But it is a good film, it is a good drama. Again, it's another one you may have missed. So some interesting ones today that most of them all were A Man Apart. That's always worth a watch. Ali, very good. All the Little Animals, a really good drama. American Werewolf in Paris, that's a really good film. Birth, a really good drama. Blast from the Past, a fun film, Blast from the Past. Body Shots, a little bit, the weakest probably the films today. Boiler Room, a really good Wolf of Wall Street sort of thing. Complicity, a violent action, anti-Thatcher thing. So if you're into that sort of thing, Complicity is really good. And this, of course, Deep End of the Ocean, with the wonderful Michelle Pfeiffer in that. So that's the 10 posters today. Hope you enjoyed that. Some good ones, 2 or 3 British ones there for a change. Sometimes we only get 1 or 2 dotted about, but nice to see some British ones, some great posters. Hope you enjoy that. I'll be back soon with another one. Please push the old subscribe button and push the bell notifications when you know these things are coming out. Follow me on Twitter at nostalgia_movie. I'm on Facebook at Bernardine with links to moviegamenostalgia.com, and all the links are below in the comments as well. For video, DVDs, posters, board games, my website, moviegamenostalgia.com. And if you like your football, obviously on this Bernardine YouTube, seek out the Citizen vlogs, which are all about Manchester City, past and present. So the history, I go back on the history of Manchester City and what's happening now with Manchester City. So if you're into that, and obviously movie reviews, board game reviews are all on the playlist. So please have a look, at all my links are below in the comments section. Anything you want to know, just let me know in the comments or get me on Twitter. That'll be great. Well, hope you enjoyed that. Hope to see you really, really soon. Whatever you're going to do with the rest of the day, have a great one. Look after yourself, look after your friends, and more importantly, look after your family. And I'll hopefully see you all again very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.